your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Michael Coates.
Let's go back to some of this video that we saw throughout Rexburg today with the flash flooding. Again, this one thunderstorm that came through town. It started around 4:30 on the west side of town and really got going for a good hour. It just stalled out over Rexburg and it just opened up. The airport reported well over an inch. In fact, an inch and 15/100ths reported at the Rexburg airport. We had reports, as you can see here, of flooding. This is at BYU, Idaho, and around town. Several of the apartments are flooded at this time, and the city is setting up a shelter at the, I believe it's the I-Center, if there are students who are displaced. We have also a lot of photos on our website of students in their apartments are just absolutely flooded here. And you can see these students are walking in ankle and sometimes knee-deep water. And we're seeing this. This was at BYU, Idaho earlier today with quarter-sized hail. And again, this was just a really quick flash flood, but a slow-moving thunderstorm. All right, let's talk about what's happening right now. Let's go to Rexburg and the Farm Bureau camp. A completely different story. And Rigby didn't get anything. This was a very localized event, a very isolated thunderstorm, the definition of an isolated thunderstorm with flash flooding. 76, though, right now, looking live here through the Rexburg Sky Cam, and we're at a little bit breezy. Southwest winds at 19 miles an hour. A couple thundercells with us here, still just in around Teton County, Idaho, and Wyoming, but things are starting to taper off here for tonight. All the flash flood watches and warnings have been allowed to expire. Now, this is what we have here, taking a big look at around the west. We have a big ridge of high pressure, which is still with us, but we still have all this monsoonal energy rotating around this ridge of high pressure. Could we see thunderstorms for tomorrow? Well, yes and no. We're expected to get some thunderstorms into the high country. The thunderstorm risk will be lower for the Snake River Plain, but I'm not going to completely discount a storm for tomorrow. We actually stand to see a better chance of storms returning by Thursday and this weekend. We're still going to be looking at the same weather pattern. Temperatures into the 80s and 90s. It's also going to be breezy in the afternoon. The winds aren't too bad in the morning, but once you get into the afternoon hours, the winds really pick up. So let's go to tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. A beautiful start to your Wednesday. We'll start to get a few clouds building in, and Wednesday afternoon, Viper is only really hinting at thunderstorms in western Wyoming and also central Idaho. Could we get a stray thunderstorm? Yeah, but the risk is going to be much lower tomorrow. The risk picks up again for Thursday. Thursday morning, a great start, calm winds. Then we get into Thursday afternoon, the winds pick up, thunderstorms really begin to pop there in central Idaho. We'll look for lows tonight back into the mid-50s for Chalice, mid-50s in Arco, 45 for Stanley. I'm going to go with 54 for Rigby and the lower 50s tonight for Driggs, mid-40s in Jackson for the low and 48 in Island Park. Mid to lower 60s for Pocatello, yeah, pretty mild, 59 in American Falls, 60 for Burley, and 58 in Lava Hot Springs, 49 in Montpelier, 47 in Afton. Highs tomorrow, they're coming back, and once again, we're going to be pretty warm outside. It's just going to be a few degrees cooler. Many spots will be into the mid to upper 80s for the lower valley. Idaho Falls, Rexburg, we're going to be about 84, so that's going to be a nice little change up here. 82 for Rexburg, 80 in St. Anthony, with the mid-70s in Island Park. Upper 80s in Salmon with the lower 80s in Mackay. The 8-day forecast. Here we go. Temperatures pushing into the lower 80s tomorrow for Idaho Falls. We perk it back up towards 90 for Thursday afternoon. We're also going to perk up the thunderstorm risk. We'll see more thunderstorms this Saturday and Sunday. We're into the mid-80s this weekend, and we could be looking at some good thunderstorms, especially into the mountains on your Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Rexburg, 85 for Thursday. Rexburg, you could see more storms. Now, could we see flash flooding again? Possibly, especially now the ground is saturated. 85 for Thursday afternoon, 85 again on Saturday, lower 80s on Sunday. Let's go to Pocatello. And again, Pocatello has also seen flooding before. We had flooding last year in August when we got those really bad storms and it flooded Clark Street. Pocatello, if they get a storm stalled out, they are also under the gun to get flash flooding. Saturday and Sunday highs here, upper 80s, lower 90s. We'll see scattered storms throughout the weekend there. Pocatello, I'm still calling for a rather dry forecast on Thursday. I don't see many thunderstorms at this point, but you could see a few storms again over the weekend. Blackfoot, I'm not calling for thunderstorms on Thursday, but we are going to be hot in Blackfoot with highs around 90 for Thursday and Friday afternoon, mid to upper 80s on Saturday. Jackson, thunderstorms in through the mountains and also in the national parks. If you're going to Yellowstone, Grand Teton, any day, Friday's a little lower chance, but every day pretty much all the way into the weekend, you're looking at spotty storms, and that also goes for Island Park and Yellowstone, Grand Teton, West Yellowstone, Montana. It's all a mess in the mountains, but this was the classic definition of a flash flood.
And it also shows how impossible it is to predict for everybody what's going to happen in their backyard.
Air mass thunderstorms.
Yeah.
it's the bane of a weatherman's existence.
Sure.
I prefer a winter storm because I usually can tell you, oh, we're going to get a convergence zone, or we're going to get dumped on, or
This is a park here.
Yeah, this is.
Park here.
And you go to you just go down the road to Lorenzo or Rigby. And
there was
Didn't even see a drop.
and they're just seeing the dark clouds, and they're like, what storm? So these storms, they can happen, and we've been known to see them. So sure enough, Rexburg, wow.
And nobody hurt. And that's really
Well, we
good
were
news.
tracking that storm at 5:30 and 6, and
Yeah.
just like, look at this.